Welcome to our video. Are we heading toward a social credit system in the name of climate protection? Today, we'll explore the implications of emerging technologies and policies aimed at monitoring and incentivizing sustainable behavior. From carbon footprint tracking apps and centralized digital IDs to the rise of smart cities, we'll discuss how these innovations may blur the lines between climate action and social credit systems. Join us as we unpack corporate and government ESG policies, potential travel restrictions, and the pressing concerns surrounding data privacy in the context of a changing environment. Are we steering toward a new era of governance, or is this all about improving our planet's future? Let's find out together. 1. Carbon footprint tracking apps. One significant development is the introduction of carbon footprint tracking apps by many companies and governments. These tools allow individuals to monitor various aspects of their daily lives, such as energy use, food choices, and travel habits. The idea is to help people become more aware of their carbon emissions and encourage them to make more sustainable choices. However, critics argue that while these apps are currently voluntary, they could evolve into mandatory monitoring systems. This could potentially lead to a scenario where individuals are scrutinized for their personal choices, creating a system of rewards and penalties similar to a social credit score. 2. Sustainable behavior incentives. Incentives for sustainable behaviors are becoming increasingly common. Programs that reward individuals for actions like using public transport or purchasing eco-friendly products are gaining traction. These initiatives are designed to promote greener lifestyles and are generally seen as positive steps. However, concerns arise when considering the potential for these voluntary programs to become enforceable under stricter policies. The question then becomes whether such measures could infringe on personal freedoms, as they might lead to a situation where individuals feel compelled to engage in certain behaviors to avoid penalties. 3. Centralized digital IDs and data collection. The exploration of centralized digital ID systems by governments worldwide is another area of interest. These systems aim to streamline the collection of personal data, encompassing health and environmental metrics. While they hold the promise of improved efficiency and resource management, there are apprehensions about the potential for these digital IDs to extend into monitoring climate-related behaviors. The fear is that such systems could pave the way for intrusive surveillance, where individuals are monitored and evaluated based on their environmental actions. 4. Carbon credit systems. Personal carbon credit systems have been proposed as a means to limit individual carbon emissions. Under such systems, individuals would be allocated a set amount of carbon emissions they can produce, and exceeding this limit could result in penalties or restrictions. While the concept is intended to promote sustainable living, it also raises concerns about the potential for an overly regulated lifestyle. Critics argue that this approach could lead to a loss of personal autonomy, as individuals might find themselves constrained by strict environmental quotas. 5. Smart cities and surveillance. The rise of smart city technologies is a double-edged sword. On one hand, these technologies use sensors and data to improve urban efficiency and reduce emissions, offering potential solutions to environmental challenges. On the other hand, they also raise concerns about mass surveillance. The extensive use of sensors and data collection in smart cities could lead to punitive measures for those who do not comply with environmental regulations. This has sparked fears of a future where individuals are constantly monitored and judged based on their adherence to sustainability guidelines. 6. Corporate and government ESG policies. Environmental, social, and governance (ESG) criteria are becoming increasingly prevalent in both corporate and governmental frameworks. While these policies are intended to foster sustainable practices, they could indirectly influence individual behaviors. Through regulations tied to environmental impact, ESG policies might lead to changes in how people live and consume. Some worry that this could result in a situation where individuals are compelled to conform to specific environmental standards, potentially limiting personal freedoms. 7. Digital currency and spending restrictions. The development of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, in several countries presents an intriguing possibility. These digital currencies could, in theory, include restrictions on purchases deemed environmentally harmful. While the primary aim is to promote sustainable consumption, the potential for spending restrictions raises concerns about individual autonomy. The fear is that such measures could lead to a scenario where individuals are unable to make certain purchases, effectively limiting their ability to choose how they live their lives. 8. Travel and mobility restrictions. Travel and mobility restrictions are another area of concern. Low-emission zones and climate-related travel restrictions, such as higher fees for frequent flyers, are being introduced in many regions. While these measures are intended to reduce carbon emissions, there is a worry that they could become stricter or more widespread over time. Individuals may find themselves facing limitations on their travel choices, potentially impacting their personal and professional lives. 9. Data privacy concerns. Data privacy is a significant issue in the context of climate policies. These policies often rely on collecting large amounts of data, ranging from energy use to transportation habits. Critics warn that this data could be used to track and penalize individuals for unsustainable choices. The potential for such data to be misused or exploited raises concerns about the erosion of personal privacy, as individuals may feel constantly monitored and judged. 10. The role of AI and algorithms. Artificial intelligence, AI, is playing an increasingly prominent role in analyzing individual and societal behaviors to optimize resource use. While AI systems can offer valuable insights and efficiencies, there is a fear that they could lead to algorithmic governance. In this scenario, AI systems may enforce climate-related rules, potentially leading to a loss of human oversight and autonomy. The concern is that individuals may find themselves subject to decisions made by algorithms, with little recourse for appeal or negotiation.